Now, the whole point of getting out of a toxic relationship and going no contact is so that you can heal from all the narcissistic abuse that you have endured. And now the point of healing from narcissistic abuse is not so that you can gain some strength and insight and empathy so you can go marching back into the dysfunctional relationship and show them who's boss, right? At the same time, healing from narcissistic abuse is also not about becoming a loner for the rest of your life. We're not trying to become islands unto ourselves. Listen, family is important. Community is also important. But the most important thing that you can do while you heal from narcissistic abuse is get yourself to a healed place where you can clearly identify who and what your family and community should look like. We call this your chosen family, your chosen community. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, I'm going to share with you 4 principles that I've discovered that are going to be able to help you to identify healthy family, healthy community, and healthy relationships. These 4 principles are principles that I've taken out of the ancient literature of the Bible. We're going to be looking at the life of Jesus, and I will provide scriptures down below for you to cross-reference and check out for yourself. Now, principle number 1, most important principle, is take this time in your healing journey coming out of narcissistic abuse to know yourself. That is the most important thing. Know yourself. We come out of toxic relationships not even sure who we are anymore. How many of you have said, I lost myself because of that toxic relationship with the narcissist? Well, I would actually argue with you and say you actually lost yourself going into that toxic relationship. And once you heal and you look at it from a different perspective, you're going to realize, man, what was I thinking even getting involved with those people or that person? The most important thing is to know yourself. And you may have thought that you knew yourself at one time. Not like this. Jesus knew himself. Jesus stepped out onto the scene and said, I and the Father are one. I am the way, the truth, and the light. Nobody comes to the Father but through me. Now, I don't recommend you walking around saying that type of stuff because you will probably get arrested. Come to think of it, Jesus got arrested, right? But the point is to know yourself, because you cannot even be in a place of choosing healthy people in your inner circle until you at the very least know yourself. When you know yourself, you then know who you need in your life. You know who can support and who can be helpful, because that's what relationships are for, and we will get more into that later on. And you might be saying, Kevin, I have no idea who I am. I have no idea what my passions and my purpose and my goals are. And this is an area where, unfortunately, I can't help you, but I can get you started. I don't know what your passions and your purpose and your calling in life is, but I can tell you this much, that you are already completed as an individual. You have been made completed, requiring nothing outside of yourself to be and to dream and to have passions. How do I know this? Because the ancient literature of the Bible in Genesis tells us that in the beginning, humanity was made in the image and likeness of God. And so what is the image and likeness of God? It's the image of completion. According to the ancient literature, God requires nothing outside of himself in order to be, in order to exist. And in the beginning, when Adam was created, it was just one, in the image and likeness of God. Completion. You are complete. You can satisfy your own emotional needs. You can dream. You can do that on your own. That's a good place to start. If you understand this much, then everything else is built from there. And yes, when Eve was created, it was to be a helpmate. This is why when Adam went to sleep, God took a bone, a rib, and put it into Eve, so it became bone of bone, flesh of flesh. God did not take a piece of Adam's soul and put it into Eve. There's no such thing as soul mates. No. You are a finished being. And then what's added to you as you go in this life and find relationships is helpmates. Keep that in mind. So number one, know yourself enough. Goals, purpose, plans in life, who you are. Enough so that you know who to surround yourself with. And this goes into number two. The second principle, know the people you're allowing into your inner circle. In the ancient literature, Jesus walked and he called his friends by name. John, follow me. Matthew, follow me. Peter, let's go. He knew their name. He knew their last name. He knew their parents' names. And they didn't have Facebook back then, right? He knew it. He researched. He got to know who he was allowing in his inner circle. This is important. How often do we go around ho-humming through life, finding different people for whatever reason? Oh, that's your favorite band too? Cool, let's hang out. Let's be best friends. Oh, wow, you're hot. Want to be best friends? The depth of our knowledge of people we surround ourselves has become so shallow, and we wonder why we are beaten down with toxicity and narcissistic abuse. We don't even know the nature of the people we're allowing into our inner circle. Okay? So, principle number one, know yourself. Principle number two, after you know yourself, you then get to know the people you're surrounding yourself so you know who's a good fit and who's not. Principle number three, don't give in to what culture and society tells you should be surrounding yourself with. Hallmark is great at putting images of families around Christmas trees and this and that, and this is what your family should look like, and this is what your community should look like. Nonsense. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus is teaching, and people ran to him and said, Jesus, your mom and your brother, they want to talk to you. Stop what you're doing and talk to your mom and your brother. Jesus had a very profound response. He said, who is my mother and who is my brother? He's basically saying, what are you interrupting me for? Why? Because you think I need to stop and go talk to them? Jesus responded by pointing to the disciples and saying, here, this is my mother and my brother and my sister. This is family. He's basically making the statement, don't interrupt your life and your plan and your purpose because of what culture and society tells you need to be doing. How many of you are aware by now that a lot of your siblings can actually be tripping you up in life? They could be your distraction. They could become stumbling blocks to who you're called to be. How many of you have experienced mothers and fathers and siblings, brothers and sisters telling you you're dumb and your ideas are lame and this and that? And that's supposed to encourage you in life? It doesn't, does it? Right? So Jesus is speaking into that situation, saying, don't stop. Don't listen to what culture says. You find your chosen family, your chosen community, and you run with it. Period end. Number four, the fourth principle, when you find your chosen family and chosen community, be ready to serve. A lot of people get this idea that Jesus walked around and had daisies thrown at him and people were just in awe and worshiping nonstop. No, Jesus served his family. Jesus served his community. He healed them. He prayed for them and with them. There's one story in which he washed the disciples' feet, right? They didn't have shoes and boots. They were stepping barefoot in camel poop, and Jesus was washing it off. Doesn't get lower than that. Jesus was showing us that in your chosen family, in your chosen community, you are to be a servant just as much as you are served. And this is what community and family is all about. Sharpening one another, strengthening one another, encouraging one another to be all that you are called to be. All right? So there are the four principles that I am using in my own life, and I hope that this reaches some of you as well. Number one, know yourself. Take the time to heal to know yourself. Number two, know people who you are allowing in your inner circle, your intimate space. Number three, don't go by what culture and society tells you your friends and your family and your community should look like. And then number four, be ready to serve, not just to be served. I want to help you out through this healing process. Down below, you can find options for one-on-one coaching with me. We could do a telephone call, a FaceTime, or a WhatsApp video conference call. Down below, you can find the direct links to schedule. So schedule now. And also down below, you will be able to find access to Monday Night Live Chat. This is where the Royal We family and the community come together, ask questions, answer questions. You can call for free as long as you know that it's live. Saturday morning, every Shabbat at 9 o'clock a.m. is Royal We Fellowship. This is an in-depth Bible study where we're looking at the ancient literature of the Bible from our understanding that the world is toxic and narcissistic. It's unlike any other Bible study you've been a part of. Every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. The links are in the description. Everything is down there for you. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit subscribe, hit like, share this with your friends and your family and whoever needs it. And I'll be back with more videos for you right here on The Royal We.